I definitely need to settle down. How do you feel about that?
When I was 15, I was like, I can't wait to be divorced. Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man? What's your name?
My name's Austin. Austin Corey.
Austin Corey. I'll take a first. Why not?
Yeah.
First and last name. It's all
Yep.
good. That's good. We can use that for something. What's going on, Austin Corey? What's happening
Oh,
with you today?
oh, nothing much. I'm at work right now, smoking a blunt. I can't believe I got through to you.
Have we spoken before?
We've actually met before. I don't know if this is like okay to say or whatever, but we met in Michigan and we went and got hot dogs.
Yes, I remember. Wait,
Yeah.
wait. Did we go to like a diner kind of a place?
Yep. It was me and my cousin Austin.
Yeah, bro. I got in your fucking truck and we went to like a diner place, right?
Yep. Yeah, that was me. That was my truck.
Oh,
Yep.
dude, I remember you, man.
Yep.
Oh man, I remember you, dude. That was a fun night. Oh
Yeah,
man,
it was.
that was a fun night. Yeah, that was after. Oh god, that was after
In Grand Rapids.
This is in Grand. Oh shit, yeah. I was thinking that was in Detroit. Yeah, that was in Grand
Nope.
Rapids. I had a show in the Pyramid Scheme, and I was just, I'm in fucking Grand Rapids, Michigan. I don't have anything to do, and yeah, I get in your car and we get high and we go to this like chili dog place with you and your cousin. We just chit chat. That was fun. Oh, that was a fun night, dude. What's up?
I couldn't believe that you actually came with us. I was like, man, he doesn't know us at all. We could kidnap him and do weird things, and you just hopped right in the truck, and it was one of the best nights I ever had. I tell everybody
man.
about it.
Oh man, I'm so happy to talk to you again. That was a fun night for me. Well, yeah, when I go on tour, or even when I'm not, just in general, I'm like, I don't know. I like a good adventure. I like a good, let's see where this thing goes. And I tend to have I don't know. I'm good at sussing people out, I think, and I didn't have a sense from you that you were going to kill me.
Yeah, definitely don't give off killer vibes. But I was like, wow, he's so trusting. And you ended up being like the nicest person ever. I couldn't believe it.
Oh, thanks,
I'm sorry.
man.
I don't know if this is good stream, stuff or whatever, but I was like, holy shit. Can I give a shout out to my cousin that we ate with?
Yeah, of course.
Austin. Shout out to Austin. He should give you a call sometime. I don't want to put his business out there, but he ended up finding out he had cancer like right after that.
Oh, really?
And a bunch of yeah.
Oh, fuck,
You remember how nice he was of a person and everything. So it was like,
is he all right?
Yeah, he's okay now, but he just has gone through a bunch of crazy things since then. And I always tell him, like, man, you need to call into the Gecko and talk to him about it.
Is he cancer-free now?
Yeah, yep. I believe he's all good now, so.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yeah.
Good.
So.
Damn.
Are you planning any tours again anytime soon?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna come back to if they'll have me, I'll come back to Grand Rapids. But
if I gotta travel to come see you, I will. Especially that now that I was like, man, I hope he remembers me.
Yeah, of course I remember that. Of course I remember that. Yeah, I'm planning a tour in 2026. I'm gonna come to at least like the big major cities. But yeah, if there's enough interest, I'll definitely come to Detroit or Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if I wrote. I keep a journal. I'm gonna see if I wrote about this in my journal at all. I'm gonna see if maybe it'll help jog my. This was in 2024. In like when the fuck? Do you remember what month this was in?
It was sometime in the summer, I believe. I don't remember for sure, but I remember we were out smoking a blunt outside and shorts and a t-shirt. So.
Yeah. Wait. Grand Rapids. Maybe let's see. Did I journal about this shit? I remember we did it. That was fun as shit, man.
Yeah, every time when I meet somebody I'm new, I'm like, hey, do you know the Therapy Gecko? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, that guy's my homie. We went and got some chili dogs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wrote here. I was like, I had a fantastic show that was so much fun at this tiny punk venue with pinball machines, and then I went out to get Coney dogs afterwards with these two dudes named Austin. Wait, you guys
Yep.
are both named Austin, right?
Yep, Austin and Austin.
Yeah, I drove with them in their truck, and we hung out and ate food and talked. So there we go. Damn, good to see you again, man. Okay, so what's up with you, Austin? What's been going? Any updates? I don't remember. I know that we met and hung out, but my memory's not good enough to remember exactly what we talked about when we hung out with each other. Any updates on your life since then?
Nothing crazy. I got into a fight with my cousin a couple weeks ago. He was drunk and acting crazy, so I had to put a whooping on him. But besides that, nothing super crazy to talk about. So I'm just so glad that you answered. I was like, holy shit, I'm at work right now, but I pulled over as soon as I heard hello. I was like, oh my gosh.
Remind me what you do for work.
I mow lawns.
Mm-hmm.
I work outside and mow lawns.
Mm-hmm.
So do like landscaping and shit. So
is that an easy job to do while you're high? It seems like it's a doable job while you're high.
It's a very easy job. I think it's easier to do while I'm high versus while I'm not high. When you're high, it just makes everything smooth and you don't really care about, things too much, and it makes it easier to work with my customers, and I'm kind of extra happy and giggly, all my customers love me. I got a little old lady that I mow, and I just left her house, and she baked me a whole tray of cinnamon rolls.
Cool, that's awesome.
So yeah, it's a good job, and I like to work outside where I can be outside and be in nature versus being locked down in a building all day.
Mm-hmm.
I can never work in a building, and like people that have to ask for permission to go to the bathroom and stuff, I'm not in school anymore. I don't want to have to ask permission to go to the bathroom.
Do you just go to the bathroom on the lawn?
It depends. I got a couple properties where I can do that, but no, I have one person that works with me, but I'm the boss, so if I want to pull over and, roll some weed up or pull over and go to the bathroom, I can, do whatever I want.
Does anyone get pissed off at you for getting high on the job?
I don't think so. Not that I've never gotten any complaints. I've only gotten positive things. A couple weeks ago, I had a neighbor come out and a customer come out and give me some weed as a tip. So that was pretty cool.
Nice, man. Well,
yeah.
When we were talking, did you have a girlfriend at the time, or were you seeing someone?
No, I've just been banging ladies, man, lately. I need to settle down here soon because I'm 28. So I know when we talked, I think I'm only a year older than you.
Mm-hmm.
But we're kind of getting older, both of us, both me and you. We're kind of losing potential mates. You know what I mean? Every day, there's more and more girls our age that are getting knocked up and getting pregnant. And the first time I have a kid, I would like to hopefully have a kid with somebody that doesn't have a child already. So I definitely need to settle down. How do you feel about that? Do you have a lady right now?
I don't, but I get, dude, I don't know. I disagree with you a little bit in the sense that I'm 20, I'm about to turn 28, and I'm I don't know. The way I look at time is man, if I could kind of whatever for the next 7 years, and I'll be 35, and I could meet a nice 30, 28, 29-year-old lady, and then 37, maybe we have kids. I'm there's room, there's room to do this shit. It feels.
You see, that's kind of how I feel. I'm in a position myself where I personally don't want to rush going into a relationship with
Exactly.
somebody.
I don't want to
And
rush it, and I don't feel like I have time to rush it. Sorry, go ahead. And I feel like I
and
have time to rush
especially
it.
rush. I definitely don't want to rush having a kid with somebody. I've seen like so many people, have kids, and then as soon as they have a kid, their relationship just turns into shit. And when I finally want to have a kid and feel like I'm ready to have a kid, I don't want to feel like it's rushed. I feel like those kind of things kind of will come to you in a sense, like I don't feel like I need to kind of hunt down somebody, but I have like my family will say weird things to me, like that, like as far as like, oh, you need to, shack up with a girl and, have kids soon, blah, blah, blah. But, I kind of just feel like that's something that'll come to me when the time is right.
Yeah. I've been coming around to the idea of, like, I don't know, being like a stepdad. I think I'd like to have kids, but I'm like, I don't know. Dude, I've been thinking about this. I'm like thinking about like how fucking insane it'll feel. Because I look at having kids as like a far off thing, but even if I do wait the amount of time I want to wait, and I'm like, or the amount of time I'm waiting in my head, and I'm like 36, 37, whatever, I'm still me, And
Yeah.
I think the idea of looking at a child that I've created, that feels like so freakily existential to me that I'm like, whoa, that's kind of fucking crazy. But it seems so nice. It seems so normal of a thing. It seems like a good thing to do with your life. I mean, it's literally if you had to consult the user manual of your human body for the meaning of life, it literally tells you that your objective is to have sex, but for the purpose of procreation. Like that's like the body's objective is survive by eating food and water, and then procreate. That's in the user manual.
Does that stress you out at all? Like the potential of, like, would you be okay with not having kids?
When I really think about it, it stresses me out for sure. But I'm like so I don't know. I feel like I got some time, so I'm not stressed out about it.
Yeah, we're still young lads, but
I feel that way.
Fucking that clock is definitely clicking, and I I also have a weird thing right now still where I don't know if it's childish or not, but I really like to do what I want to do when I want to do it,
Right.
And it's tough when you got a girlfriend, they're like, oh, let's go shopping, let's do this, and they'll ask you to go do a bunch of things that you might not necessarily want to do, and I'm a very, very busy guy, but at the same time, if you're just having sex with people that you're not in like an actual relationship, you don't really get anything meaningful out of it. And I do miss having a partner to, experience things with, I guess.
Yeah, of course. I think that, I mean, it's a give and take, right? Because I'm the same way. I'm like, I'm crazy. I'm like, I'm going to go to Iraq for a week, or I'm going to go out to this random thing, or do this, or try this, or whatever, But I guess ideally, whoever ends up like being my partner, probably, is like, okay, like knows that I'm like that and is on board for it. But no matter what, you could have somebody who's like totally on board, totally whatever. But you always, if you're, living life with another person, you have to make concessions no matter what, especially if you like create another person. Yeah, you got to make concessions. But I think I don't know. I'm not. Let's talk again. We got to talk again in 10 years because I don't have enough information. I don't have enough wisdom to really. It's true. I don't have enough wisdom to fully engage in this conversation with you. I feel like if we had this conversation, I feel like us having this conversation now and us having this conversation 10 years from now, we're both going to have totally different views on it. But, because I don't know, if I'm like, I don't know, I look at my life right now and, you know, I'm single, I live by myself, I don't like, and I'm like, it's some nights it's cool. It's like, you know, some nights it's cool and some nights you're like, oh, I think the whole point of this was to like build a real life. And then I'm like, wait, wouldn't it be awesome to dude, when I was like 15, I think this was just because I was watching Louis a lot, but when I was 15, I was like, I can't wait to be divorced. You know, like that seemed like a cool life to me. I don't know, not like a cool life, but like because like my dad was, you know, fucking my parents got divorced, and but my dad was still like in my life, and I was like, oh, that seems like the good setup is like you have your kids half the time, but I don't know, I'm dumb. I think me thinking about that as a 15-year-old in theory is much different from how I'll actually feel when I have children, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm sure when I have children, I'll be like, I'm sure something like will rewire in my brain to go, no, I want to be with these people as much as humanly possible. But again, I don't have the wisdom to fully address any of these things yet.
Yeah, it's a bit of a double-edged sword. So, but okay, yeah, I'm very, very glad to hear that you're going on tour again. So at least I'll be able to see you again in next year if you're going on tour sometime. Even if I gotta go a state or two, I'll come see you wherever you go. So,
you know, if I have, I feel like if I have kids, I can't be hopping in random high strangers' trucks in the middle of Michigan to go to diners at 1 o'clock in the morning.
See, doesn't that?
Or maybe I can.
Like then there's so many things you're not able to do. That night would have never happened then.
Well, I don't know. Like I don't personally know these people, but like there's like comedians like Mark Normand and Joe List and like other folks like that. I don't personally know those guys, but I know that they have kids, and I'll hear them talk about like their lives, and I'm like, oh, you can like have a kid, but still, do that kind of shit. So I don't know. I don't think it's something to count on.
Yeah, that is true, I guess.
Anyway,
but
who are these girls that you're banging?
So it's kind of like a short but long story. So it's just they're kind of just random whores. So I was in a relationship so I was in a relationship like 5 or 6 years ago, and high school sweetheart, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I thought she was gonna be the one, but she ended up doing her thing, and we split up or whatever, and she really did a number on me. But we split up, and I got together with other girls or whatever, and then the girl would hit me up, and I would shit on other girls that treated me very, very good, just to talk to the one I was in love with, if that makes sense.
Oh, this girl didn't like the other girls, so you would talk badly about them to her?
No, so like the girl I was like, so me and the girl broke up, my high school sweetheart. So I would start banging other girls, and then I would get together with somebody and be seeing somebody or whatever, and then a couple months down the road, my high school sweetheart, she would get done, fucking whoever she was or whatever, and then she would call me back eventually when she got bored or whatever. But because I was in love with her, no matter what kind of girl I was with, I was with girls that treated me way better than she ever did. But because I was in love with her, I would just drop whoever I was with the moment she would call me. It didn't matter if it was 2 months or fucking 3 years, If she called me, I'd be like, hey, what's up, and so that's why I'm fucking whores now, is because I'm still feel like
why are these women whores?
I guess when I say whores, I shouldn't mean whores. Like, they're girls that I bang without being in a relationship. So,
hey, listen, man. I got some bad news for you, Austin. That makes you a whore as well.
Yeah, and I wasn't using it in a derogatory kind of way, but we're all just freely, we're taking care of each other's needs without the commitment part,
Yeah.
So
I'm pro whoredom.
But so like the only reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want to get into another relationship quite yet while I still have somewhat of feelings for another person. That saying, you don't bleed on somebody that didn't cut you. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to break another girl's heart just because I'm being an asshole and I still have feelings for somebody else.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It sounds like you're in like a transitional period right now of like, all right, let me dial all this back and figure out what I actually want to do.
Yeah. So like, I'm just with the non-committed relationships, because then you don't have to worry about hurting anybody or being hurt in return.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
No commitment, no nothing. It also gives me the freedom to come and go as I please. I can call a girl on one night, hey, you want to go get some dinner? Blah blah blah. We go out on a date, and if something happens, sweet. If not, so what? I had a good time anyways.
Yeah, that's a nicely low stakes place to be.
Yes, you can't get hurt in that zone. And I've had a lot of hurt in my life, and I don't think I can. I just don't want to take any more quite at this point. But
yeah,
I do miss being in a committed relationship. It's been a couple years since I've been in a committed relationship, and I'm doing pretty well in life, and I just want to be able to share my wealth. Like, I don't have like a bunch of money, but I'm doing good, and I want to do good with somebody, if that makes sense.
No, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, yeah, that's what like every song on the planet Earth is written about, right? Is like, this is just like an analysis, is like, yeah, to really like build a thing or, allow yourself to whatever, you gotta enter into something that both allows you to, that opens you up to an extreme amount of pain, and then opens another person up to an extreme amount of pain, and then the stakes become fucking higher.
Yeah.
I mean, that's all of life. That's all of life, is like, you high risk, high reward,
Yeah. Do you think you're going to be in a relationship anytime soon? You got any honeys you're talking to?
I'm kind of I don't know. I'm enjoying. I'm just like kind of living my life right now. I think I was maybe thinking about that stuff more, but I'm just living my life right now. I feel pretty good about it.
You said you feel pretty good about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to do something in the future, but I don't know. I'm enjoying living my life right now.
Yeah, I'm glad that it makes me feel better to hear somebody else kind of has the same thoughts and viewpoints. 'Cause I kind of thought
we're young guys, man. We're young guys. I don't think that we're, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, we're, how old are you? 27?
27.
27. I'm 28. So I told myself, I was like, man, if I don't have something going on by 30, I got something to worry about. But
you got plenty going on. You have a truck. You have a job. You're doing all right.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have anything planned out for your new tour yet?
I know I'm gonna do. My plan is to do like half. I think in my last tours, the show was like 30% my own material and 70% dicking around with the audience. And I think for the next one, I'm hoping, I'm aiming. It's gonna take some time to work on, but I'm hoping it'll be like half my own material, half dicking around with the audience.
Oh yeah.
So, well,
yeah. Well, that show in Grand Rapids was super fun.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Dude, it was great. It was great talking to you again. I'm reminiscing now about that night. That was a fun time.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people of the computer before we get out of here?
No, I just want to give one more shout out to my cousin Austin Heath, the one that was there eating hot dogs with us that night. Besides that, I'm all good.
Rock and roll.
Appreciate it, Lyle. You have a good day.
Hey, take care, Austin. Thank you. It is raining hard out there. It is raining a lot. Hi, who is this?
This is Mike.
What's going on, man?
Dude, I'm in a very weird crossroads in life right now.
Tell me.
I'm about to graduate with my degree in finance, right? About to join the whole business world, the whole like numbers, data analysis, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But then like, I'm a very creative person. So on the side, I'm going to keep writing, I want to write short stories and write books and all that. I've been writing for years, and it's just a very, very strange place to be in because I couldn't put all my eggs in one basket with writing. I had to, do something professional to support it at the same time. Also, I'm Appalachian, so if that's interesting to you, we could talk about that as well.
What does it mean you're Appalachian? Like you're from Appalachia?
Yeah, I am from Appalachia. My family's been there for generations, so I'm not super into like, the culture and all that. I'm just saying that's the area I've grew up in, and when I'm saying I'm not super into the area, I don't mean like I hate it or something. I just don't mean I'm like full gun-ho Appalachian, just, you know what I'm
saying? Remind me briefly of the culture of the area.
So Appalachia, one of the biggest part of the culture is just for a long time, there was these groups of people who would just live out in the woods and just like a family or just like a single, like a group of families or a single family in a house, just living out isolated for years, maybe decades, just learning to live off the land and having a very, self-made culture, that sort of thing, very different dialogue, different way of speaking, that sort of thing. And it's just an odd place, man. And the whole culture of like people being like self-sufficient is still part of it. And it's odd to see Appalachia also updating to the modern world at the same time. Because it's, we live in, well, this is something interesting about being from Appalachia, right? So in the modern age, there's like tech and yada yada, and everyone's like, oh, from the 60s or 80s, it was all different. We have always been 20 years behind here. So while everyone else in like every other state was going through, being modernized and like, in the 2010s being all, I don't know what exactly the word is, just being like having a much more modernized culture. we'd all look outside that and we'd still be kind of stuck in like the 80s or 90s. It always felt like, you know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. How old are you?
21 right now, actually.
21. And do you feel like you grew up in the 80s?
Kinda. I mean, my parents are a bit of an exception because they were both engineers. But it's like whenever I'd walk outside of my house and it's like my high school had bring your tractor to school day, and I'd have to be, and you know, that's not something that was just specific to the 80s, but like the way people talk, the way people still drive older cars, just the kind of culture, you know, it's not, we just don't modernize. We just didn't modernize as quickly as everyone else. We're getting to that point now because I don't think there's really any way to like run from that modernization anymore. But just, yeah, it just felt like I was living in a different time period.
So well, let's get back to you. What's your crossroads? And then maybe I wonder if in some way, shape, or form your environment has led to whatever's going on with your crossroads.
The crossroads, yeah. It's I was an isolated like younger guy when I was younger as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's just part of what it is. It's a lot less frowned upon, I guess. To kind of the way it used to be was everyone got raised by everyone else. So, you know, when it was more okay to just, when you could like sit on your computer and socialize people through the computer, then a lot of that kind of just happened to a lot of people, I think, in my town. I don't know if that exactly makes sense. What I'm saying is I just had a long history of just being just hooked in. Sorry, man. Trying to explain. So what do you mean by explain my crossroads? Just explain riding?
Well, hold on. First of all, everything you've said so far makes perfect sense. So there's no reason to get flustered or frustrated. Well, okay. I mean, a lot of things. Well, first of all, what I mean by explain your crossroads is you can't. The first thing you said on the phone pretty much was that you're at a crossroads. So that's what I mean. But okay, so you grew up feeling pretty isolated. Like you feel like you grew up on a computer.
Yeah, I grew up on a computer, and I just grew up in like, even outside the computer, it was an isolated type of area. I grew up just reading, listening to, you know, YouTube and all that sort of stuff, and like playing video games. And I think that really, it was bad for me in a lot of ways, but all those years of like, not brooding sounds a little darker, but just like brooding with all these creative outlets online and just sitting in my room and really having a lot of time to introspect like deeply, like for months at a time on a certain thing, I think really led me to have all this like emotion and thoughts like kind of built up. And eventually in my teens, there was just like nowhere else to go, and it just went to writing.
And the crossroads, you're graduating soon from college?
This December, yeah.
And what are the crossroads?
I'm passing the point of like not like of being able to just not give a shit, I guess. Like before I could just sit around and just do nothing and play video games and all that, and now I can either fall back into that and just, you know, isolate myself again and go back to my hometown and just live in my parents' basement and do nothing for a while and keep telling myself something will happen, or I can get out of that and have to work seriously to support myself with like a finance career, and then at the same time, you know, hold on to my dreams of writing and like write at the same time. So it's maybe crossroads wasn't the right word, just a very large trend. It's very
transition,
a very odd transitionary period. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear you say that crossroads isn't the word, because that means that you've chosen down. Because when you were referring to this as a crossroads, the crossroad was between pursuing something with your life that will engage you creatively and allow you some form of financial success and allow you to see the world and move outside. And the other road is to go back home and play video games in your mom's basement. Not judging, but that's what you refer to as the crossroads.
Yeah, I mean, even in college, a lot of times I would still have that same sort of like air that I had, like air about myself. Like, well, I can kind of goof off now. There's plenty of time. And I guess crossroads is just like I'm passing that now.
Mm-hmm.
And just this huge transition I'm going to is very different. Like, and it's just a weird place to be into, like trying to build like a very professional, cold and, you know, non-creative career and building a creative career at the same time and doing all that while moving away from, you know, I was always like a harder worker than most people, but it's so weird. Like looking back, I see myself as so lazy before, which I mean, I have to have expectations if I want this stuff to work out. And I mean, like work all day type of expectations.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I have multiple thoughts. One is, if I don't know if you have a father to say this to you, but I'm proud of you. Because like, yeah, it's pretty easy if you want to not fucking do anything. And our development, I mean, I don't know, you're a solid bit younger than me. You're 6 years younger than me, but I also feel like I don't feel like I grew up on a computer, but I had the same, you know, we had social media and we had Facebook and we had fucking Poptropica. That's what I'm trying to think of. We had Poptropica.
Oh, dude, I love Poptropica.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're in the same boat a little bit. But yeah, it would be easy for you if you wanted to stay in Appalachia, live in your mom's basement, and continue to not do anything. But I don't think that's what you want. And I get that there's a hard transition. Yeah, I remember when I was 22, I had this moment because I'd also kind of been spending my whole life, you know, I was being creative and I was making movies and I was doing things, and I had this. I mean, you know, I'm lucky. I had a privileged upbringing, but I remember I had this.
There's no shame in that.
I had this thought where I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna graduate college and I have to find out how to make money. I can't just like
it's scary.
Dick off. Yeah, and I had that same realization where I'm like, oh, I have to make money. I'm 27. I'm having that realization now, you know? I have to make money. I have to do a thing to create a life and make money, and I have to really work at that, and it's real, and it's really real.
Yeah.
So I go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Well, there's not much like a staying business is left on my brain, because like, you know, you do creative work, and as soon as you said make money, my first thought was to ask you like, well, how are you, you know, are you looking at the right target market and yada yada, and what's your ROI?
Mm-hmm.
It's just stupid shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But
immediately I went to consulting mode.
But you know what? Good, man. Good. It sounds like you have good. It's good. Don't be don't be ashamed of wanting to be in business and you know, thinking about your KPIs and your ROIs and whatever, right? Like, don't be ashamed of it. It's like, fuck, man. Like, money's real. You know, it's real. It's the thing that you use to kind of build a life for yourself. You can do it. You can live a life without money, but it's hard.
Oh yeah.
And I don't think that there's anything inherently evil about you being like, I want to go into business and I want to try to make money. And also, like, you said you I'm so sorry that I forgot about this, but you said you have a creative outlet. What did you mention your creative outlet was?
Writing. Actually, I do horror story writing.
Cool. Look, man, I want you to know, you don't be afraid of this transition. Like don't be afraid. In fact,
thank you, man.
Every part of because you can build a really nice life. You can build a really nice life. Go ahead.
From like when you went through this transitional period, do you were you like the same thing you talked about? Did you ever look back and it shocked or even just hurt you to kind of see like the time you wait? Or I don't know, maybe it's just something basic and I don't even need to point it out because everyone's gone through it. But just like, how much of a shock is it for you to look back on yourself, like even just 6 years ago? Is it like, oh, I can still relate to that guy a lot, or do you feel like you've changed? Like
no, I feel like I can relate heavily to that guy. I was thinking about, I was reading journals from 6 years ago, and I was like, I feel like, when I think about 6 years ago, I'm like, that guy was angry. And I was reading journals that were angry journals. I was reading journals that were sad journals. I was reading journals that were ambitious journals. I was reading journals that were happy journals. And in the happiness and the anger and the sadness and in the ambition, I felt them in, all of those feelings, they're still with me, but I can deal with, but I'm more mature now. I have more information. I have more knowledge. So as I navigate those familiar emotions, it's still me. Like I have sadnesses and angers and ambitions and joys at 27 that I had when I was 21 that are similar things, where I could write a journal now that would sound like if I wrote a journal now, it wouldn't sound like I wrote it at 21, but the emotions are still there. Do you know what I'm saying?
No, I see what you're saying. I guess I didn't kind of look at it like that, because when I look back, I think like me and the teenager me are like two completely different persons. But I guess, I don't know. I guess the emotions we feel are always the same. I don't know. Maybe that's kind of what you're saying. I never. Really
what's helpful for you right now?
It's creative, like doing creative stuff. Like right now, I'm also trying to move away from, getting stuck down like dopamine spirals, I guess is the word, of just like scrolling Instagram or whatever, and doing more fulfilling creative work. Like probably the enjoyment I get from 5 hours or like the comfort or, what helps me after one day, what I would get from 5 hours of like scrolling, I could probably get from like 10 or 30 minutes of like really good writing and seeing myself actually do something meaningful and creative. And that helps a lot. Or like playing guitar, not even playing it well, just like smacking the strings and just kind of feeling that flow. I guess.
Yeah. This is new advice that I'm playing around with to myself, but just try to you gotta love your life. You're gonna go you're gonna do something in finance that'll take a lot of hours. I don't know what the job market is like where you're at. I'm not gonna pretend like I do, but if you can find a little thing that makes you, if you can find something that makes you enough money and leaves you enough time to write and see your family and your friends, then just maintain. I think I'm figuring it out a little bit. I'm not saying I've fully figured it out, but I'm like getting a little. For a long time, I've been thinking about like, okay, how do I remain ambitious and remain wanting more for my life, but also be happy at the same time? And I'm getting little hints of maybe figuring it out. And I think the key, and it's harder when you're younger, it's easier when you're older, but the key is like, just start loving your life right fucking now. Like don't don't wait for a thing to happen. Don't wait for an amount of money. Don't wait for some kind of external circumstance. Just start love it. Just like every night when you go, like anything good, like if you're eating a fucking sandwich, or you're applying to a thing, or you're from your finance job, you look at your bank account and you get your direct deposit, or you're sitting in your house with your water or your coffee or whatever, and you're writing, just anytime you get anything, just go, I have a good life. Just anytime you get anything, just go, I have a good life. I still want more. I want to make more money. I want to write more. I want to explore more. I want to develop my relationships.
Sandwiches.
I want more sandwiches. I want to do all this stuff, and I'm gonna do it. But I just don't fucking wait to love your life. So that's how I would phrase your transition period.
Man, I appreciate it. That's a good way to look at it. Yeah. I think I'll use that. I appreciate that.
Good. Yeah, it's real out here. I get you.
Yeah, that reminds me. I'm just gonna say this real fast because.
Go ahead.
Just right on that. That reminds me of advice I heard. If you loved yourself, you treat yourself like someone you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been trying to dive more into that.
That's good, man. It's tough, but you should love your life. And man, I'm glad. It sounds like you're starting to love your life, man. You should. You're like a gecko, and you get to talk to people all the time. That sounds like a dream.
I go in waves, man. I'm for the last couple weeks I've been in a good wave, and we'll see how long it lasts. But I don't want to go back. I just don't want to go back. I just fucking don't want to go back.
Well, what if you don't mind me asking? What sends you back? Or would you prefer the call to be more centered towards me?
No. That's a good question. What sends me back? Well, loneliness sends me back. A yearning sends me back. Letting my brain go too far away from reality sends me back. Binge eating sends me back. Fucking.
I get binge eating. That's a really. I mean, not to get super personal, but that's something I've actually dealt with for a very long time as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to think of advice I could give you there. I mean, again, I'm younger, so you probably got way better experience working with it than I do. But I'm trying to think what works for me. Have you ever tried fasting?
Yeah, cool. Yeah, definitely. It's hard.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that's something I've noticed lately that has geared me more towards not wanting to eat as much.
Oh yeah.
I notice when I don't eat it. This is just a quick thing. I'll say when I fast for a little bit, my brain works better, and I've started to prefer that state towards binge eating. I think maybe you could write out or something what feelings you don't enjoy or enjoy about in the state of binge eating, and the feelings you enjoy and don't enjoy about eating well, and maybe frame them somewhere so you can see them every day, so you can remember I don't prefer that state, I prefer this state, and this is why. But maybe does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. You know what's so funny though is I'm not saying this to dismiss your advice. The if I were to print out, if I were to do what you are saying, and I were to print out, and I were to look, I had it on my phone, I was this, and I journaled. I was remember, this is how you feel when you're not binge eating. I could look at that, and if I'm binge eating, I could look at that, and I could go, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times I've been back there. I could look at that and go, nah, that's fucking bullshit. You know, do you know what I mean? Yeah. I have to be currently feeling it, even if I felt it hundreds of times in the past. I have to be currently feeling it right now in order to be able to believe you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I see exactly what you're saying. I don't know, man. Maybe embrace binge eating with something super heavy, healthy, you have eggs. Boiled eggs, those are pretty healthy.
No,
maybe you just have a jar of boiled eggs instead of eating something else.
Listen, I'm feeling okay right now. At some point, I don't know when, and I honestly even think that accepting that this is gonna happen is part of the thing. But at some point, I'm gonna, there's gonna be another. At some point, I'm gonna freak out again, and something bad's gonna happen, and I'm gonna eat a pint of Ben and Jerry's and whatever. But it will be okay. We'll cycle. I always think about what that lady said on the podcast the other week or day or whatever, where it's like life is like a spiral and you start in the middle and you go outward. I'm like, I know these cycles. I know that they're not, I know we're coming back, but I've been down and come back for like 8 million times that I just know it's possible. And each time I don't, jump off a fucking roof, well, hey, man. Each time I don't jump off a fucking roof, we get better at, we just get better at life. We just keep getting better at life. This is
Ben and Jerry's flavors.
I could keep trying Ben and Jerry's flavors, folks. Every time you don't kill yourself, you get a little bit better at life. every time you don't kill yourself, you get a little bit better at life. I know you're
laughing, but that's a good way to look at it. Mm-hmm. That's a win you have every hour.
What's your name again, man? Did I give you a name or did you tell me your name?
You can call me Mike, man.
Mike, it's nice talking to you. I think you're gonna be okay. You're a smart guy.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Can I call you Gecko?
You can call me Gecko.
Thank you, Gecko.
Is there anything else you want to say to the people at the computer before we go?
Always give someone the benefit of the doubt. No matter who you meet, always assume they know something you don't know, and you can find out by talking to them. I
like it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, man.
Mike, I appreciate you.
Also, I saw your show in Nashville with Shaggy 2 Dope, and it was really great.
Ooh, hell yeah. Would you come back if I went there in 2026?
Absolutely. I would absolutely come back.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because I'm planning my 2026 tour, so hopefully people come. That'd be cool.
Dude, please.
Sick.
I mean, okay, if you're feeling it, man. If you're feeling it.
Oh no, I wasn't feeling it for like a year, but now I'm feeling it again. So I'm excited. Okay, yeah, and if I meet you, you could be like, I'm the guy we talked about Appalachia and how I'm going through a crossroads.
I'll bring you a Gecko horror story.
Oh, that sounds great. Okay, beautiful. All right. I'm gonna come back to Nashville. We'll meet in person.
Nice. All right.
Beautiful.
That sounds good.
Take care, Mike.
Take care, Gecko.
That was Mike. He's a nice guy.